Hello everyone, it's your boy B3, back with another kicking action figure review. Today we are looking at another figure from McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse line. It is the Vampire Superman from DC versus Vampires. I admittedly haven't read DC versus Vampires yet, but I have really been wanting to. I just haven't got around to it. And I saw this guy at Walmart. He's a gold label figure, which someone told me just means that it's a store exclusive. So I guess this is just a Walmart exclusive. It looks like all the vampire stuff might be exclusive, but it's just kind of weird to call something gold label, because that kind of implies that it's a higher quality figure, but most gold label stuff appears to be repaints. Luckily, this guy is actually decent. He's a pretty cool figure. I try to get all the Kryptonians, and I'm a big monster collector. I love monsters, and I love monster heroes and villains a lot. So Vampire Superman, even without reading the comic, was high on the list. I mean, do I really need to read the comic to understand what's going on here? It's a Vampire Superman. It does make sense, because he gets his superpowers from the sun, so to recharge his powers, it would kill him. But anyway, let's continue. He's actually really cool. Raised Superman symbol. Very clean paint on this guy. And I really like the sculpt of this cape. I don't believe I have this cape on any of my supers from McFarlane. I don't know if it's a new one, but it's not on any of the ones that I have. And it's a really cool cape, really billowing in the wind. But look at the detail and paint on this head. It's really insane. Just these big red eyes, and then he's got these horrific fangs. The entirety of the inside of the mouth is painted, and it's got like this glossy blood on the fangs and like running out of the mouth. And then you have just this like gory neck. You can see where he was bit. I don't know what character turns him, but he was like bit on the neck, and there's blood like gushing out of the wound. Insane. I like the little detail of the pointed ears. He's got all these like holes in his face, like these big pop marks, kinda. And just wow, what a magnificent head and neck. Some of the best McFarlane has done for the price point. That's magnificent. Then you get to the hands, and the hands are also the kind of gray, but they're very, very different than the detail on the head. They're such a lower grade. But I think I can forgive it just because the head is so damn cool, and this is like a $25, $30 figure. By the way, I do think McFarlane figures are a bit overpriced, but I do really like this guy. I mean, they gave him new hands, and the hands aren't just the same hand mirrored. They're different vampire hands, which is really cool to me, my G. I'm really digging that. He's a really cool figure. They painted his belt all the way around. I'm just so used to figures not having painted backs. But he is really cool. His articulation is pretty much what you would expect. Head that looks up, and he can get into a good flying pose when you work his head and torso, right? You can get him in a good flying pose. I was messing around with him earlier. And then, side to side and a wobble and everything. You've got up and down on the arms, forward and back. You kind of have this fancy joint in here. I really like that. You got a bicep swivel, but his you gotta like pin his arm down to kind of do it, because if you don't, it'll just turn that, which is fine. And then he has a double elbow bend right there. Rotation on the wrists, forward and back. Pretty cool, and you can turn that joint in there so that they can go in and out and stuff too. And then you've got a nice forward and back and kind of wobble on the torso, but it doesn't really turn super well because of the oval. It does turn well on the waist though, so that kind of makes up for it. But you see, my guy was kind of in package like that, and so since it sat like that for so long, his middle half kind of just wants to flop like that whenever he sits still for a while or I move him around. It doesn't want to stay upright, it just wants to flop over. So I hate when action figure companies just have to have them in this dynamic pose and packaging. It's like, just stand them up so that they're not all warped and stuff when they come out. Whatever. But I mean, it's got side to side and kind of some forward and back too. You can get them in some great flying poses. You really can. In and out on the legs. Kind of rotates a little bit forward, and since it has a rubber covering, it can go back some. Very nice. There's no real thigh swivel, just that little one, but there is a double knee bend. Nothing on the boot. Up and down on the feeties. And then you've got an ankle pivot, and you can kind of turn it. And there's also the toe beans. And detail and peg holes on the bottom of the feet. Speaking of peg holes, I'm going to show you the accessories like his stand real quick. Now, he just comes with the basic black stand. Most flying characters get the flight stand, the clear flight stand now. I think they just sculpted so many new parts for this guy, and they had so much crazy paint on the head that they needed to maybe cut cost a little by giving him this stand. That's fine. I don't really use these stands, but they're good stands, you know. They go on him well. But this guy kind of stands all right by himself anyway. He's got the little DC brand there. It's a good stand either way, whichever stand they give him. I do like that McFarlane always throws in stands. He also always throws in these trading cards. This trading card is pretty cool. It looks like maybe variant comic cover art with his bleeding neck and stuff. It's pretty cool. I don't like it when it's just a product shot of the figure, but it seems like they've taken that into note. Like a lot of people probably complained about that. The cards are cool. Like, I could live without them, but I do think they're really cool. It reminds me of back in the day when I used to get trading cards with, like, Godzilla Trendmasters figures in my youth. In the youth. But yeah, pretty cool. And the read-up on the back, though, isn't about Vampire Superman. It's just about... it's just a regular, basic Superman read-up. And I've been seeing that on a lot of McFarlane figures where the read-up isn't for the specific version of the character, it's just real general. So that's kind of boring, gonna give us a Vampire Superman card and then just the regular things that literally everybody knows about Superman on the back. Like, come on, guys. Come on. But whatever. Whatever. And then he comes with two hands. They're also newly sculpted fist vampire hands. Accessories for Kryptonians seem to be pretty easy. For a figure of this price point, just give him like some fist hands and some open hands and you're probably good to go. Because like heat vision at this price point would probably be real fragile and snap and be small losable points and whatnot. Maybe an alternate head would be smart at some points, but that's, you know, Kryptonians don't need terribly many accessories, I feel like. But when they do have them, it's really awesome. But yeah, I'm fine with these and the claw hands. And I'm going to display him with the claw hands because most of my Kryptonians are displayed with fist hands. And the claw hands are just so cool and unique. And it really, see how it's flopped over? And it really brings out, you know, the monster in him. So let's straighten out that torso. It's just going to be like that forever. And then let's get into size comparisons. Let's lay down the soups. And now, first off, let's compare him with another Kryptonian. How about his cousin, Kara Zor-El, aka Supergirl? This is the one from the Flash movie. And also from the Flash movie, how about the Multiverse Batman, portrayed by Michael Keaton? They look pretty cool. I mean, it's very obvious that they're live-action designs and he's a comic book design. But still, I think they look pretty cool together, don't you? Huh? Don't you? Alright, let's take away Kara and throw in Wonder Woman. This is the Wonder Woman that was designed by Todd McFarlane. I think they look pretty cool together as well. Huh? Now let's show him with a villainous character. Let's move Batman away and replace him with Batman. But this will be the Batman Reborn Harvey Dent Batman. Let's actually swap these. That'll make this easier. Shield on this side, folded cape on this side. They look cool together too. It almost looks bigger than Superman, almost. Pretty cool, though. I really like how all these DC figures look together. And then I also want to show him with one more figure. I kind of show this guy with all the McFarlane figures I review now. So here he is with the Deluxe Spawn with Throne. I also think he looks pretty cool with... That would be a fight that would be really cool to see, actually. Vampire Superman versus Al Simmons himself, the Hellspawn. Oh, I'd pay to see that. For sure. For sure. Very cool. I guess I can see it whenever I want, since I can make it happen in the comfort of my own home, now that I got this Superman. So yeah, he scales well with his own line, and with other figures in this scale, which I think is pretty great. So all in all, what are my final thoughts on the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Superman DC vs. Vampires 85th Anniversary Walmart Gold Label Vampire Superman? He's pretty cool. I actually really like him. I think he's pretty unique in my DC collection. I know they've announced Vampire Batman and the Joker. Not sure I super care about those, to be completely honest. Maybe the Batman would be cool. I would prefer, like, the Elseworlds Vampire Batman, like the one turned by Dracula or whatever. But I do want the Vampire Green Lantern really badly. I understand he's a big part of the story. Plus, I collect lanterns and I collect monsters, so I really want that Green Lantern. Who's also Gold Label. I think all the vampires are just going to be Gold Label, maybe. Whatever. He's really cool, though. I think he's a good figure. I think he's got enough accessories. I wish the card had a specific read-up for Vampire Superman, but then again, that might be a spoiler. Of course, most people buying him have probably read it. Actually, probably not. I don't know. But it is a book I've wanted to read since it was announced, and maybe this will finally help me get it into my hands. But that's it. Thank you all very much for your support. Remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. Check out all the cool links in the description below, Facebook, Twitter, etc. And I'll see you all next time. Bye for now.